I work with people who have got more money and wealth than they ever will need in their lives. I work with successful business owners and athletes and different people, and it all sounds kind of sexy, and maybe to some extent it is. And I work with everyday individuals who are trying to get their shit together, trying to create a more meaningful life. And I'm telling you one thing, there is no difference in any of them, and they all deeply struggle with one thing, and it's value. Value in themselves. And it absolutely inhibits everything. It inhibits not just their future, their life, what they do, what they don't do. It actually inhibits the dream to begin with. Because if your value is, let's just say, here, you're only going to dream to here. That's as far as the dream goes. It might pop its head out, but you go, no, I'm not good enough. No, I can't do that. I don't have this, I don't have that. Now I can see why Brian, for example, he tells you about the stuff, but he was lucky. He had the money to do this. He worked he must have had money. He had a runway. He would whatever. He got a few breaks. Oh, he can talk and he can dress, whatever. And I don't mean it's not to take away from Brian at all, because that's the opposite. And I'm not saying he had no money, but it's the courage to step out. And I think often people say it's the fear of failure. It's the fear of becoming beautiful or brilliant or fantastic or whatever. No, fear is way overrated. I'm getting bored of hearing about fear as a reason not to do things. And I don't mean to be derogatory or condescending to those of you in the room that genuinely experience fear like I do every single day of my life. But we've never had more information, more science, more podcasts, more books on how to eradicate, how to get rid of, and how to manage fear ever before, and it's not working. I don't think it's working. So maybe there's something else. I think the fear will always be there. So what I do with fear is I get to know it, I get to understand it, I get to do a deep dive. I pull up a chair and I look it in the eye and I become comfortable with that fear. But the one thing that I did was I started working on my value, my own value proposition, and why I didn't like who I was, why I didn't think I was good enough. And I'm not talking about an intellectual understanding, because I could have created affirmations and told myself that I've got value. I could have said that 50 times a day, but it wouldn't have worked because I didn't feel it. And when I started to do the deep dive on my own personal narrative, my own personal story, getting in touch with the shit that was really going on in my life, the things that I was ashamed of, the anger that I was carrying, and so on and so forth, it started to dissolve, and I started to find this space and saying, actually, you're not bad, McKernan. You're not a bad person. I went to my own mother and I wanted to change my name. Not because I didn't like the name Philip, it's because I didn't like who I was. And then I got lost in the doing. I said, if I do something cool, if I do cool shit, if I make great money, then I'll feel great and good about myself, my own skin. And that didn't work. Because what I was doing was consuming my identity.